Hi everyone, I hope you're well. So for today's video I'm going to show you how to assemble my album, which I'm calling my stacked album. The finished size is 4¼ by 6¼ so if you're wanting to cut matte layers you can actually get most economical use out of these from a 12 by 12 because the layers are 6 by 4. And then obviously you can either just put a photograph instead of a matting layer, or you could cut your photograph down by 1/4 inch to kind of layer on top. So in the cutting file you'll get the 5 main pages that make the album. You'll get the 6 by 4 to cut either your pages or your front and back cover, and you'll get this one which is for the outer spine of the book. And then I've also given you, might be easier to see them in brown, I've given you 2 pocket elements. So you've got a small one that you can just glue on 3 sides and stick that way, and you've got a longer one that you can stick on 3 sides and use that way. Okay, so I just want to show you how this goes together. So when you cut your 5 main elements, you'll see that each one has 2 score lines. So the first thing you need to do is obviously fold and burnish each of those fold lines. Now on the inner pocket, this fold line is only about 1/4 inch. So just be careful when you're folding your middle one, but then they go up in width as you cut the pages out. And as I say, it stacks. So I'm going to start with the one that's got the widest dash lines, and I've already pre-folded this. I'm just going to get the next layer and I'm going to put adhesive down the middle section between these 2 dash lines, and this is going to line up in the middle of the previous 2 dash lines. Now they're the same height, so all as you've got to concentrate on is getting your spine centered in the middle. Okay, so if you kind of position it where you think it's going to be and then slide it up before you press it down, you should get it into place. So I'm just going to use some Tombow wet glue because it gives me obviously a little bit of wiggle room. So I'm just going to apply some glue and I'm just going to rub that off because I've gone over the fold line there. So let me just rub that away because I don't want the pages sticking together. I just want it stuck together on the spine. So now I'm going to stand them both up so I know that they're level top and bottom. And then I'm just going to, this isn't easy to do on camera when I'm trying to keep my head out of the way, but I'm trying to get a similar width between this piece and this fold line on both sides. So that's the first page in, and then I'm going to get the next page and do exactly the same, and I'm going to do that with all of the pages. So I might just kind of speed through this section and then come back when it's all done. Okay, I'm not sure how well you're going to see this with it being dark cardstock, but that's how it all now lines up. So all the pages are all stuck together just using the middle spine, and now you can just decorate it. So I've got a piece of ribbon, I'm not sure how long this is, it's probably about 1 yard or so. I'm just going to fold it in half, and where the fold is I'm going to put some adhesive in about the middle of the book. Now you can measure it if you want, or you can do it by eye, it's entirely up to you. I know this is not easy to see on brown cardstock, but I'm literally just putting, see if I can zoom in, there you go, that's a bit better. I've just put 3 little bits of our Stampin' Up! Stampin' Seal Plus. You could use double-sided tape, whatever you prefer. And I'm just going to position the fold of this ribbon in the middle of this spine and just let that grab on that adhesive, and do the same now when I unfold it. It's going to be held in place with the matting layers. So, you know, you don't have to, at this stage, put loads of adhesive. It's entirely up to you. If you want to apply a bit more, you know, just put a little bit more and lay your ribbon out. You don't even have to put the ribbon on if you don't want to. So now I'm just going to layer up the front and back cover and the spine. Again, I've made these, I think, about 1/4 inch smaller. And I've cut them, when I cut them on my ScanNCut machine, I cut them in this order. This is the order that they're in your cutting file, so that the pattern is continuous, although you're probably not going to notice it as much with it being a front and back cover, but I can see that this little piece of the gnome house here is here, and I can see that this pattern matches up. But as I say, it's not vital. I just chose to do it that way on this particular one. You may have a pattern that's, you know, non-directional, and then it probably, you know, won't even matter. So again, I'm just going to position the layer so it's got the same kind of gap all the way around, and I'm lining it up with this one. So I'll just put my lid on that for a minute. So that's how we're looking now. So we've got the front cover, the spine and the back cover. And as I say, these layers are cut at 4 by 6. So they're so easy to get out of a 12 by 12 piece of paper. Literally just get your 12 by 12 piece of paper, cut it at 4 and 8, and then stack those up or cut them separately. Turn your paper around and just cut the 12 directly in half at 6. And you'll get 6 pieces of 4 by 6 out of every 12 by 12, which makes it, you know, really economical to use. So now it's just a case of, you know, doing the rest of the pages. And if you want to use the pockets, you know, deciding where you're going to put them, you may want to put a pocket, you know, on the inside or on every page. As I say, I've given you 2, I've given you one that fits horizontally and one that fits vertically, again with a little border all the way around. They've got the little kind of thumb notch already in them for you. I'm going to cut some designer series paper up now. I'm just going to use my paper trimmer to do it. Decorate the pages and then I'll come back. So I'll just show you with the first sheet. I'm going to put this in at 4 on my paper trimmer, and I'm going to cut. Then I'm going to put this one in and cut at 4 again, so that's equivalent of cutting at 4 and 8. So that gives me 3 pieces now that are 4 by 12. I'm just going to stack them. And the Stampin' Up trimmer has a kind of little edge here, which is exactly 6 inches before you swing the arm out. So if you keep your arm closed and stack all your 3 pieces on top of each other and butt them up against this side, they'll be in the right place. So that has now given me 6 pieces of 4 by 6 as matting layers. So I'm just going to carry on and do that with the rest of the paper, and then I'll come back. Okay, so this is where I've got to so far. So you saw me put the outer cover on and the ribbon. So all as I've done now, I've just opened each page flat, and using my 4 by 6 matting layers, I've covered each page. So I've just chosen 3 papers from the Storybook Gnomes suite, and I've alternated them, and some I've used the front and the back. So I've got the gnome houses, or the, what do you call them, mushrooms, toadstools that kind of pick up on here. Then this one is the designer series paper with the gnomes in, but I've used the reverse side, so that's on that page. Then I've used this one with the moose and the deer and the fox and everything on this page, then gone back to this. Then this is the reverse side of this paper, so I've done that there. Then the snowflakes again. Oh, I've missed out these two, so we'll do these. So this is all I did. I stacked up my 6x4 pieces, and then I just, you know, chose at random where I wanted to put them. Let's see what we've got on the other side. I might use that side actually. So for the inner pages, as I say, you can get 6 4x6 from a sheet of 12x12. So you need 3 sheets of 12x12 to do all your inner pages. And then you just need a half a sheet to do your front, your back and your spine, okay? So that's the middle. And then obviously I'm flattening out the pages as I go to make it easier to do the matting layers, and that's also helping, you know, the pages work nicely. So in the middle I've decided to do the same paper, and then I just carried on alternating them as I went all the way through. So for my book, just to save time on the video, I've actually only cut 2 each of these, and my thinking is that I'm going to put the smaller one in the middle, and I'm going to use my Tombow multi-purpose glue, because I've not put any gussets on these, so they literally just need a thin bead of glue if you're going to use them. Or you could score a gusset on it yourself, but obviously that would make it narrower and smaller in height. I would just do it this way. I don't think in this size book, I don't really think you need pockets that have got big gussets on them, because you don't want to make it too bulky. And then I'm just going to stick that down on the bottom, and I'll do the same on this one. So just applying a thin bead of my Tombow. This is my preferred wet glue, and again just laying that up on the bottom. The thing with Tombow is it dries clear, so if any glue does come out, just let it dry, and then you probably won't see it, but if you've got one of these glue erasers, you can rub it away when it's dry. I have a link to these in my Amazon affiliate shop, which if you go to my website here at applelover53.co.uk, click on the shop tab. From there you can shop for cutting files, you can shop for some handmade gift items that I've put in there now. You shop for Stampin' Up retired products, and there's also a link to my Amazon affiliate shop where there are crafting products that are not available from Stampin' Up that I've listed in there. So they're on the middle pages, and then I think just for the sake of this, I'm going to pop one of these in the front, and I might put one near the back. But as I say, you could leave these out, you could put these on every page if you want to. It's entirely up to you. The idea of this video really, more than anything, was to just show you how to put the album together. So I'm just holding that in place. So I've not put it on the inside cover, I've put it on the front page. So if I turn to the back, I'll put it on this page. Now again, I could put it on this side and have it that way as opposed to it being that way, which I think I might do, just for it to be a little bit different. And then obviously you can fill this with whatever you want to put in it. You can put photographs in it. You know, if you're using it as a little album for a specific trip, maybe you could put receipts in these little pockets. So that's how it's looking now so far. And then it's just a case of maybe decorating the front. So I've got some shapes already pre-cut here, and I've got some gnomes already cut. So I might just decorate mine simply with a little gnome or whatever I've got. Let me just see what I've got in my little stash. I've got some shapes already cut, so maybe I might do some layering. Little snowflake I could use there. My little man, I might do that actually, just do some layering with some shapes that I've already got cut in a box on the side. I've also got some stamped images. I could put those on the inside if I wanted to. I think I'll go with that for now because it kind of brings in all the colours. And these, some of these elements are just what I've cut from, you know, other projects, and I've just kept them on my desk. So if I put that down like so, this is just a half a snowflake. In fact, I'll put this down on some Seal Plus because that'll hold it better, and then I can layer this up on top. That will hold it all down like so. You can really go to town with these little books. You can, you know, use them for all sorts of things. Just find some dimensionals. I'm just going to put a few dimensionals on this. Just because it's going on the front cover, I just want to make sure it's kind of held down in several places. If you just press with your thumb, your dimensionals will start to lift. But another thing I do a lot is I use my pokey tool and I just pick them off. But whatever works for you. And then my little man, I think I'll just have like so. So that's how it's looking so far. So as I say, you know, you don't have to use a storybook gnomes. Use whatever paper you want to use. I think this would look good using the Hues of Happiness paper, you know, all that floral paper. You could cut your flowers out of the designer series paper with a ScanNCut if you've got it, or there are dies that come that cut the flowers out of the paper as well. You could put a cluster of the flowers on the front. You could put, you know, some of the flowers on these little pockets. So like this is stuck down now, but you can put things in it. You could decorate up the inside if you want. You could go, you know, you could go mad with it. I'm just showing you the basics of putting the album together. So quick flick through of all the pages, couple more pockets there. As I say, you know, you could maybe cut some tags, or you could just use these for receipts or some little photographs, or however you want to use it really. So that's my little book. And then for this one, as I say, I've done the ribbon closure. The ribbon is far too long, but I would rather have more ribbon. Plus, because this has got room to expand, you want to have, you know, more ribbon for when this starts getting, you know, more chunkier this way, if that makes sense. So I would give yourself a good amount of ribbon. I mean, that's far too big and long for it as it is, but when you start bulking it up, you will need more ribbon. So that's how to assemble my little 6 1/4 by 4 1/4, what I'm calling stacked album. So I hope you like the video. It is available in my ScanNCut cutting file shop. As I say, if you go here to my applelover53.co.uk website, click on the shop tab, and the first one at the top of the list is ScanNCut cutting files, and you'll find it in there. So that's the project. I'll try and take some photographs of it to put, you know, with this video. There'll also be an accompanying blog post, and I'll link all the Stampin' Up products that I've used as well, in case you want to purchase those from me. So thanks very much, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.